Hey guys, press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Pink Villa.
Creating jewelry for a movie is a very unique experience. I and my team spent a lot of quality time with Sanjay Leela Bansali in understanding his creation, his visualization and his imagination for all these characters. As you know, this movie is based on during the 13th century. There is not much of information which exists to rely upon. This information is available in form of sculptures, in temples, in museums, and in old history books. And that's precisely what we did. We went back to old jewelry books to understand the kind of styling which was used in that era. Some people in Rajasthan who belong to the royal family also opened up their personal treasury to show us the kind of jewelry which existed. We have designed about 1,500 pieces of unique, exquisite jewelry for this movie. As I mentioned, each piece has got its own meaning, each piece has got its purpose, and so it is not that it has been just picked up. So it has been created authentically to suit the plot. We have used about 500 kgs of gold, about 200 karigars have worked on it, and a lot of our designers have put in this extra effort to ensure that we come up with this kind of exquisite result. Padmavati and Ratan Singh, they are two characters who are based in Rajasthan. And the jewelry we have created for them is very much inspired from Rajasthani jewelry. So a lot of techniques which belong to this place, reviving a whole lot of old way of wearing jewelry has all been attempted here. Whereas Alauddin Khilji, he has a lineage from Turkey and he came to India via Afghanistan. So a lot of his jewelry has got Turkish as well as Afghani influence. So went about researching and understanding the culture of both Rajasthan as well as Afghan and Turkish jewelry to create pieces which have meaning and are true to the plot. Tanishq has created some real standout pieces for the movie. Let me start with the borla. This is a typical borla worn by the bride on her forehead, and you see this is a single borla. So, but for one of the very important scene in the movie, we have created a borla. We brainstormed quite a bit that how do we build in differentiation, how do we create something which is unique. So what we created was, a 3-layered borla. So the borla literally covered her entire hair in the front, and it turned out to be a very, very exquisite piece. So borla is one of them. This was paired with a nath, which is relatively simple because she was wearing a heavy earring and a choker and a heavy necklace. This was also paired with a beautiful pair of bangles created with beautiful meenakari work and basra pearls and beautiful enameling which is done, chitai enamel and meenakari work, and also finger rings which are as elaborate as it can get, with again kundan and basra around it. And the septum ring is a signature element throughout the movie. So this is another small piece we believe will become a trend. It's already a Western trend, but we want to give an Indian twist to it. She's been wearing the septum nose ring in the entire movie. And the hearth fool, a very, very elaborate hearth fool across all fingers with so much of, if you could see this hearth fool is very different because it covers the entire hand and it meets the bangle here, and with finger rings which are at the tips. So this is supposed to create a new trend which we are very, very confident. Then moving on to the ears, there are different kinds of earrings we have created, ones which completely cover her ears to one which even becomes like a hairband with multiple layered jhumkas and something. So each of this is sure to create a trend of its own. So if you see jhumkas, these are really layered jhumkas, pretty elaborate jhumkas which typically, it's like a cuff which covers the entire ear, and the earrings are in 3 layers. This particular earring has a beautiful peacock motif where there is a lot of takkar ka kaam with the green stones and beautiful kundan around it. And this is a 3-layered jhumka if you see the, with beautiful crafted gold work in two of them, and a red jhumka in the center with some exquisite workmanship. This is something truly unique which has been created. And this masterpiece of this necklace itself, the use of miniature painting, which is very, very special, because these are hand painted intricate work which you don't find commonly. It is very difficult to get these paintings. So in this particular piece, a very, very important scene, we have used paintings of 5 different goddesses, and this has been placed along with the pearl piroi around it, and beautifully integrated with the kundan part and the pearls to create a masterpiece. If you see, this is such an elaborate piece in itself that it's very, very special, created with emeralds, created with pearls, with kundan, with miniature paintings. This becomes something very unique and very, very exquisite. The other highlight is the use of stones. The kind of stones we have not used any cut stones. They're all cabochon stones, because at that point in time, that's what was used. The other key differentiator between the kind of jewelry we see today and what we have created for the movie is the look of the kundan jewelry. And in those days, gemstones like rubies and emeralds were considered very precious. So they were used along with kundan to create a certain look, and that's what we have tried to replicate. And hence, if you see, the jewelry is an eclectic mix of colors along with kundan and pearls. So it is a very unique look, unlike the typical white kundan look which you see in the market today. With the fusion of techniques, when it tends to create a neck piece which is pretty elaborate, it is natural that the piece becomes heavy. But the heaviest piece which we had is one here. It weighs about 250 grams, which is quite an elaborate piece which was worn by Deepika in the movie. Our challenge was to create a nut which looks nothing like the nut which was portrayed in the previous movie. So a lot of research again, a lot of techniques, and in creating all these challenges, we want the heroine to be wearing all of them with ease and acting. So the weight, how lightweight it has to be, and how easy it is to wear was kept in mind, along with making the piece look really sensational. So we have created a variety of nuts which are truly amazing, and which I'm sure is going to be a trend amongst today's modern brides. Talking about the necklaces or the ard or the choker, we will be starting a new trend with chokers. We have created some beautiful Rajasthani art, but brought in our own way of differentiating it by adding a lot of kundan jhalars to it, to give it volume, to give it body. So it doesn't look like a typical choker, but it has its own spread and beauty to it. So necklace and chokers is another category which has been redefined. The other is these long necklaces, which are really anyway coming in trend. There are these satladas, which are, we have created with lots and lots of pearls, basura pearls, and completely redefined that look, which is going to be a must-have for Indian weddings. Coming to the hands, yes, beautiful bangles. In fact, if you see the movie, we've got the Deepika Padukone wearing stacked bangles. Each bangle, each kada created very, very uniquely with different kind of techniques. So bangles going to be arranged. Hathful, which is another category which is going to be truly, truly revived, because hathfuls are no longer like the typical hathfuls with the brides wear today. It has been, created very intricately. There is a lot of detailing, and it looks pretty complex and almost covers the entire hands, and that's what is going to really build a trend. Payal is another important accessory for a bride, and payal is typically a very simple one which we see brides wearing, but what we have done here is created some very, very intricate and extensive payal in kundan with emeralds, and truly beautiful payals. So I'm sure payals are going to come back in trend. Look at the payal. The kind of payal looks like a necklace. In fact, the payal itself looks like a beautiful piece of choker. It can be worn as a choker, but this is an elaborate payal with beautiful kundan work paired again with basra pearls and emeralds. This is something truly, truly exquisite. So in today's world, this can also be bought and can be worn as a modular piece. Later on, this can be worn as a beautiful choker. And something called a pug fool, which is, you've heard of hearth fool. What we have is a pug fool, which is like these, like hearth fool, all the toe rings are connected to the payal. We have created a pret line for today's modern bride who can sport it very very easily, and we have made it lighter with the same design elements from the movie. So we are very confident that we are going to be setting off a lot of new trends, especially in the wedding space. For Khilji, we have used something which is very unique to his character. His character is very raw, so we have used raw stones, uncut stones, different kind of shapes coming together, very rough edges. The prongs have also been, which hold the stone together, has been also very rough and edgy. So we have created pieces which are true to that character, and the pieces created, he is worn as a sultan, as a warrior. So with the same material, different looks have been created for different scenes in which he portrays himself very differently. We have looked at silver and gold as a combination to begin with for Turkish and Afghani jewelry. There is a lot of gold and silver mix, and a lot of uncut stones, very, very rough and edgy kind of stones we have used, with the prongs which are very unrefined. So if you were to see the Rajputana jewelry and if you were to see the Turkish and Afghani jewelry, they look very, very different. And the iconic, the tiger nail pendant and earring is something Khilji has worn throughout the movie. For Shahid, we used a lot of emeralds, a lot of kundan, and a lot of pearls. And we made it pretty simple, but we kind of bunched it together so that it looks royal at the same time very masculine. So his jewelry was very clean, devoid of too much of design element, and it portrayed him as a very strong king. I would not say any one character was more difficult than the other. All were equally easy or equally difficult. In fact, the challenges in creating jewelry for movie actors is quite unique. In fact, like a typical jewelry, we created all our earrings with the normal finding and the normal way of wearing it. But they have to wear this jewelry often and take it off for every break. So the ease of wearing it is when we gave this to Deepika, she wanted to wear something which is like a clip-on. So we took back all the earrings and we had to convert all of it into a clip-on jewelry which she could sport. Whereas for Ranveer, it was the other way around. So we made all clip-on jewelry for Ranveer, the earrings he was sporting in the movie. But he wanted to wear, since he was getting his ears pierced, he wanted to wear it with the finding. So we went back and changed the whole thing for him. So these are the final things which we need to be very open to and adaptable to quickly do it and give it to them. While this movie is based on 13th century, we were pretty clear that in today's world, the trend is also not to overdo jewelry. Though this is a period film in which she's wearing a lot of jewelry, my recommendation to today's modern bride is to pick up some of the iconic pieces we have created and match it with their wedding lehengas. And we have brought in a lot of trends, and we are very confident that once this movie releases, the jewelry industry as well as the fans of jewelry would be truly ecstatic to see some beautiful pieces never seen before in the history of jewelry. I hope you enjoyed the jewelry we at Tanishq have created for the movie Padmavat. For more such videos, please subscribe, like and share Pink Villa.